Every summer at the beginning of August, the music building of the Desautels Faculty of Music comes alive with the sound of percussion and in more recent years, the sound of brass as well. From August 5th to the 8th, the Prairie Percussion Workshop and Prairie Brass Camp return to campus, welcoming middle and high school students for 4 action-packed days of learning, playing, and musical growth. Led by some of Winnipeg's finest brass and percussion players, these workshops offer young musicians a chance to sharpen their skills, build strong fundamentals, and deepen their understanding of their craft. Now mainstays of Manitoba's summer band calendar, both camps have earned a reputation as must-attend events for aspiring student musicians across the province. And joining me here in the Classic 107 studio to talk about the Prairie Brass and Prairie Percussion workshops, I'm joined by Victoria Sparks, who is the percussion instructor at the Desautels Faculty of Music and founder and coordinator of the Prairie Percussion Workshop, and Paul Jeffrey, who played for many years with our Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra and is now a member of the RCF band here in Winnipeg. He is also one of the coordinators for the Prairie Brass Camp. Hello to you both. So great to have you here.
Hi, Chris. Great to be here.
So, Tori, the Prairie Percussion Workshop started back in 2012. Can you talk a little bit about some of the ways the camp has grown? And did you think back in 2012 this event would become so robust?
I hoped it would, but I know. It started it was just me and a few friends that I knew were kind of great teachers and great players, kind of begging them to come and do me a favor. We did 3 days the first year, and I had 12 kids. And we had a great time, and it was, it's percussion camp, so it's always a lot of fun. But over the years, we've added days, and we've added more staff and added more students, and it's so exciting that it's kept up.
Mm-hmm. And then Paul, you reached out to Tori a few years ago to pick her brain about a camp. You wanted something similar for brass. What was your thinking behind wanting to have something along those same lines?
Well, I felt that that really there could be a place for brass players to also have a focus in the summer. Brass chamber music was kind of was one of the things that drove me as a young person, and just got me super inspired to pursue music. And I thought it would be great to get that going for the community here. So it's kind of for us, it's like a chamber music camp, brass quintets or individual ensembles, whether it's trumpet ensemble or trombone ensemble or something like that. That's where we're kind of focusing it, and it's been just a pleasure to have going for the past couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely. The Manitoba Band Association has become an important part of the camp. Can you talk about the role and the vital role that they play in getting this thing off the ground and from an organizational standpoint?
Absolutely. The first couple of years that I did it on my own, and it was just kind of me running the camp and kind of being scared most of the time. And after a couple of years, the Band Association approached me to say, hey, we see what you're doing and we think maybe we could help. And I was like, oh, thank you. And so they do so much of the work of the administration and the registrations and helping kind of handle the management of multiple camps, and so it's just such an amazing support to have from them, and then we get to kind of run the coordination of the camp, the different classes, and what we're going to do creatively. So they offer wonderful kind of traditional band camps where you'd have an experience you'd expect in a middle school band program, but we're able to do kind of our more specialized thing with all of that support from them.
And it must be great to have the use of the fancy schmancy new facilities at the new music building, right? Like, does it help?
Oh yeah, it's such a treat. It's this new building is just it's probably the finest in Canada as far as facilities go. We use every single room.
Yes, I always go to the office and say I need to book the rooms for camp, and they say which rooms do you want, and I say all of them. And they do. They let us have every room in the building for the week. It's amazing.
Sometimes we even have to use just the hallway and the top floor on the practice room floor and the 4th floor there. But it's great. The facilities are fantastic, and the staff is so wonderful about really, helping us out. And, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be at the Desautels Faculty of Music. It's great.
We get lots of comments from our staff to say, oh, it's nice to hear some music, because it's always a little quieter over the summer. And so they get excited to hear some noise in the halls again.
Absolutely. From a percussion standpoint, it really runs the gamut of the percussion world. You've got mallets, world music, drum set, snare drum, auxiliary percussion, timpani, etc., as well as the element of small ensembles for percussion. How is the day divided so that you're covering all the bases for percussionists?
All those bases are kind of one of the reasons the camp actually got started, was because, in a middle school band program, if you're playing the trumpet, you're playing the trumpet. But if you're playing percussion, you're expected to be developing skills on so many different instruments. So we decided, when I started the camp, the goal was to help give kids confidence in so many different areas. And so we divide the day up that way. It's kind of like a school day, but instead of math and English and science class and geography class, you go to snare drum class and drum set class and world percussion class and percussion ensemble class, and get a chance to to try everything. It's nice because students sometimes have strengths in one area or another. Some kids might come in as a really strong drum set player, but kind of a little scared of those mallet parts. Well, they go to mallet class with students who have similar experiences to theirs, and they get to learn together, and vice versa. That student might, I've never really played a lot of drum set. Well, you're going to sit here with 8 other drum sets in a room, and you're going to rock out with everybody else.
And it's probably the only camp in the world that will have 8 drum kits in one room.
It's the loudest room. We put it at the end of the hall.
And how are the students grouped together? I mean, for their chamber classes and for their studies, is it by number of years experience for both brass and percussion? How does that work?
Well, for us, for the brass, we take a look at how many years of experience everybody has, what grade they're in. Oftentimes, sometimes I'll even reach out to their band teacher or their private teacher and just see what level they're working at. And we try to really put people together that are going to work well at a certain level, and we go from there. So we really try to tailor it directly to the students and find something that's going to work well for everybody. So.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a summer music experience. We want you to feel challenged and to learn something, but we don't want it to be too easy that you're not kind of getting pushed a little bit beyond your ability or to your next level, but also we don't want it to be overwhelming so that you just kind of feel like it's too much. So we work pretty hard. Sometimes we make changes on the first day and say, oh, actually you're handling all this really well. We're bumping you up to the next level, different things. So we work really hard to make sure that both your amount of years of experience and also the different types of experiences you have are being accounted for in your classes.
One of the things
I'll also just throw it out too, if it is a little overwhelming for people, we had an incredible group of staff
and volunteers.
Like university student volunteers who come in and support the students who need the help. They are so essential to what we do, and we're so appreciative that they join us for the week. It's great.
They're amazing. I get emails in May and June saying, "Don't forget that I'm volunteering at camp this year, Tori."
That's good.
You already know who that is.
Oh yes, I do. Yeah.
And I mean, one of the things that strikes me at the camp is just this whole idea of student to teacher ratio. Can you both talk about the importance of small group instruction and even private instruction and what that effect that has on a student's overall playing?
For the camps in particular, we stick to about 6 or 7 to 1, so we keep a pretty low ratio, so you get a lot of really close-up experience with professionals on your instrument. So it's also not just with a teacher but also if you're a French horn student, you're working with a French horn player from the Winnipeg Symphony, the strongest players in the city, and just fantastic teachers as well. So it's really lucky for them to get that opportunity. Yeah.
Paul, how about you?
Yeah, having that small group of students to be able to work with, we get to have that individualized attention that we enjoy teaching them with, and I think that they really value as well. So yeah, it's I think it's essential. I do band clinics, or we both do band clinics all over the province, and sometimes I have 20 trumpets, and I would love to have just a little bit of individual time with just a group of 6 or 7 of them, but it just can't happen, And that's where I feel it's just so important, and we're just so that's how we're able to keep our numbers small, and it's just essential that we do. So that's great.
Last year, Tori, you and Justin were in. We were talking about last year's camp, and I was saying how much I love watching brass players warm up. And the first portion of every day at brass camp is a warm-up. And it's one of the reasons I love watching brass players warm up is it's not about how fast you can play, it's about air and sound and just getting everything set up. Paul, can you talk about the importance of that, especially for younger brass players as they're learning?
Yeah, the foundation to everything we do is the wind and the song. It's the air and the tone. And so we spend our first 45 minutes to an hour of the day just warming up together. So I'll have 6 or 7 trumpet players, and we'll just work together, really developing, making sure that we're having a really good core sound, really listening to the core sound and making sure that the air is supporting the sound, because fundamentally that's what matters the most in what we do. And then we build it right from the middle, and we go a little higher, we go a little lower, and we really try to get the students are thinking sound first. We'll play some Bach chorales, we'll play some easy things and just try to make beautiful sounds, and that's the way every day starts. And then we go on to our various our chamber activities, or we have a guest coach or a guest clinician or something like that, and that's how the day goes. Yeah, but that first warm up is just, it's crucial and super fun too.
Yeah.
It's great.
And as a woodwind player, I just love that whole idea of just sound. Sound is everything, and sound comes first. Tori, can you talk about who's on the percussion faculty for this summer?
Yeah, we have a really exciting year this year. We have a guest group coming in. So there's some other events going on in the city, and the percussion ensemble Sixtrum from Montreal is going to be in town. And so I'm friends with some of the people in the group, and I called and said, you want to come to camp too? And so they're around for the week. And so the whole staff this year is all the members of Sixtrum Percussion Ensemble, as well as one extra from Saskatoon, little extra guest. So we're just so delighted that these world-class players from Montreal are going to be our staff for the week.
And how long have Sixtrum been around?
Like 30-something years, I think.
Oh, wow.
They've been performing all over the world. They've been touring. And this is actually part of a tour that's taking them to Saskatoon, Winnipeg, New York, and France. That's quite the tour that they're on this summer.
And Paul, who's in the brass faculty?
Our brass faculty, so the trumpet instructors are going to be Richard Gillis, Professor Dr. Richard Gillis from the University of Manitoba. We have Justin Hickman on tuba. Stephen Dyer is going to be the trombone instructor, and Michiko Singh will be our horn instructor. In addition to me, and Jenny Taylor as well is going to be a trumpet instructor as well. She's a local teacher and education
One of my dearest
assistant.
friends.
Yes.
She's great. Yeah, it's going to be great. Can you talk about some of the fun aspects aside from the music being fun, Tori? Like last year there were games. Can you talk about some of those?
Every year the games are kind of the thing I have so much fun trying to figure out what they're going to be. But many years ago, I was trying to come up with something to remind myself, like, it is still summer camp. We're going to have a good time. We're going to get a little bit silly. And I invented multiple percussion Olympics. So I've had to kind of adapt them to include the brass players this year. I think last year we took instruments apart and tried to make the percussionists put the French horns together and try to figure out how it all goes. And then I think we actually got the brass players trying to name some rudiments as we were going through.
Yeah, it was good.
So we divided them all up into teams. So there's always some kind of a fun game. I think I might be going a little bit Hogwarts style this year, where you're getting points all throughout the day from all your teachers for different things, or getting points taken away if you're not doing the right thing. If you don't do your warm up right, you're going to lose points for your team.
That's right.
Yeah, it might
Watch
be
out.
something like that this year. There's always something fun.
And there's also performances that are going to happen at the end of the week. Can you talk about those? And I'm presuming brass and percussion are going to be joining forces at some point during the performances, right?
We do a little bit of both. So the students work together all throughout the week to get ready for a performance at the end of the week. But also, before we get to that, I also want to highlight that we have professional groups coming into play. So we have the Royal Canadian Air Force Band Brass Quintet is coming in with some percussion to perform for the kids on one day, and then Sixtrum is going to perform for them one day, and then our staff brass quintet is going to play one day. So each day the students are hearing a short professional concert, and then at the end of the week they get to perform all the pieces that they've been working on throughout the week. Typically kind of all their small groups, and then usually kind of one thing where we kind of get as many of them together as we can.
Mass ensemble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. It's been so great. Where can students go to register for the Prairie Percussion Workshop and the Prairie Brass Camp?
So the link is through the Manitoba Band Association. So they have, I think it's mband.summercamp or .org/summercamp, I think is right.
mband.org/summercamps. Yeah.
So there's a host of camps there, and ours are on the list there. Most of the MBA camps are available only to middle school students, but this camp is middle school and high school students. We'll keep you challenged if you're a high school student who's looking for a little bit of extra something or other this summer.
We still have a few spots left, in particular for horn and tuba. Those are for the brass camp. That's what we're really looking for.
But filling up fast.
But anybody who wants to sign up, they're welcome to sign up.
Definitely.
Tori and Paul, this has been really, really wonderful. I'm sure the two camps are going to go like gangbusters. Thanks so much for taking the time to stop by and talk to me today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Chris. Great to see you.
For our Classic 107 listeners, the Prairie Percussion Workshop and the Prairie Brass Camp takes place August 5th to the 8th. For more details on how to register, go to mband.org or go to classic107.com. I've embedded a direct link to the registration page in the article that's up on their website right now. Thanks
Thank you.
again.
Thanks.
Thank you, Chris.